Good morning, everybody. Here on a beautiful Sunday morning, we're here with all things relevant as usual. Right next to me is my buddy Sal, savior of the world, and we have a special guest today.
Special guest in the building.
Super special guest, a family friend of my family. Go way back, Mr. John Guzman. How's it going, John?
I'm doing good, man. I tell you what, he got my name wrong because I was outside in the car, sleeping, homeless, and they came and knocked on my door, and I thought it was ICE, man. I didn't know what was up, man.
No,
but they said, man, look, the guy skipped out on us today, man. We need somebody to come in. Could you please come in? You speak English? Do you speak English? I said, yes, I do. And they said, all right, well, can you come in, man? We're going to talk to you for a little bit, okay? I said, okay, but you're not going to talk about my family, where they are, nothing, right? They said, no, man, I'm here, man. It's pura familia, man. Pura familia, pura familia, pura familia. Pura familia.
Well, thank you.
What
thank
an
you.
entrance. And by that intros, I'm still looking at that intro that we got. The intro video.
Oh, our new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful,
Yes,
right?
it is beautiful.
It's wonderful.
And that was a beautiful segment and entry into what we're going to talk about. That was amazing, John. That was awesome.
For sure. Yeah,
Which
definitely.
part of it?
Everything. All of it. All of it. He's not homeless, people, just so y'all know. We didn't get him off the
No,
street.
I got a car.
He lives in a car.
Yeah, I got a car, so I'm okay. I can turn the heat on, and I got the carbon dioxide
damn.
the sensor in there, so it comes on and wakes me up.
And he has the essentials. He had somewhere to sleep in the back. He has clothes down on the floor, and at the foot of him is a fridge, a little mini fridge. It's filled with the 6-pack of Modelos. So,
Oh, my God.
But what you don't see is that when I do a little button, there's a stripper pole that comes up. All right? Because there is some girls out here, man. I can't help it, man. I can speak any language it comes. I can speak it. Okay?
You see? But
So-
this was a treat, Sal.
it's definitely a treat, especially
Some
given
accents are
what,
meant to happen.
Hey,
There you
know,
go.
The universe has spoken.
I know what you're talking about, man. I know. Yeah. No, I love it being here, man. Y'all guys are cool. And, just talking to you just that little bit, man, it's already got me all stoked
Yeah,
up.
There you
hey,
go.
we're happy to have you on here.
Horned up to
And
talk.
if anything, thank you for your time. And I think we're going to probably say and be even more blessed with the knowledge and information that you bring to us. But tell us a little bit about yourself, John.
Well, man, I tell you, I'm a little bit older than you guys, so what I bring to the table is some knowledge that I've accumulated. Okay. And, unfortunately for the raza that's out there, and there's a lot of people, it's not just raza, I mean, you're talking about multicultural, that don't go to school and they're getting in trouble and getting sideways, and, they're lost. They're lost people, then. And so what I've brought to me to bring peace to me is to try to get more peace to the people that are causing problems. And that's why the prisons are so full. And that's why there's a cycle out there that the government wants to keep on. If they let somebody out there, they want to bring two in. All right? No, they got to make money.
Yeah.
And it's all a big money grab, no matter what area you're talking about. In society right now, ahí están los trompos, ahí están todos los guys that are in politics. They're all money grabs.
Oh, yeah.
I have a project that I wanted to present that I'm going to bring it up. I've studied and worked hard on and researched hard on composites that will stop bullets. Because there's a road rage thing going on that really got to me. I have a friend of mine that died. And it was a girl, and she died with her kids.
Oh,
And it hit me, and out of nowhere, somebody upstairs touched me and started bringing me the knowledge. And 3 years later, I've got it together, and so I'm trying to get it out to to the police, the security guards. Estos pobre vatos that are at the taco stands. They need it too, man.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
You know, they get robbed late at night, vienen, and you got
Convenience store owners.
exactly. So it's not something I want to bring to the general public just yet, because the general public needs it too against road raging. But at the end, we need to get a boundary of security for people that they can work and they can live and be happy and safe. And these are this is something that just comes to my mind that a lot of when you talk to me who I am. Who I am is somebody that cares. Okay. I care about the community. I care about all the chavalones that are not going to get to finish school or get a good job because they got themselves something to jam. And so I got so many things to say about that. But I don't think we have enough time today. We're gonna have to spend the year on it. But right now, I kind of gave you an intro on what I was thinking about this shield thing. That for the and I'm I'm going to go after the people that have the little convenience stores, and I'm going after the people that have the taquerias because I've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen it happen. And I'll tell you something that I saw not that long ago. I was over there in the hood, man, and I call it the hood. It used to be a good part of town, Copperfield, okay? It used to be a good part of town. It ain't no more, okay? Bear Creek, the Pior. It's like crossing from El Paso to Juarez, man. And so I was over there, and I seen these cops pull these guys over. Cop on the right, cop on the left, and there's a guy. They pulled over. He's dark-skinned colored guy. They don't tell him where he's from. Just because he's dark-colored, it doesn't mean he's African-American. We got Cubanos, Salvadoreños. We got all kinds of nationalities that are dark-skinned. Yeah, and so I saw them, and they were like creeping up, like they were scared, dude.
Yeah.
And at that point, I said, I got to get it to these guys sooner than later. I said, because these guys got their hands on their gun, and
They're just scared.
They're scared. And what's going to happen is that the guy that's driving is, he could be a criminal. He could come out shooting. Or he could be like, hey, man, let me throw my cigarette out, throw his ass, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, oh, man, we got to cover this up.
Can I say something about that?
Of course.
So about you saying they're scared. Here's my point on that, right? If you're doing all that, if you're gonna be that scared to walk up to a car, then you shouldn't be a cop.
Okay. Now that is why it's been on the media that police are quitting. Mm-hmm. Police don't want to join the force, and it's not because of the money. Police become police because they have a thing in their head that they want to be to protect and serve. That's the motto. That's what we're hoping they're there for. We're hoping they're not there just to shoot anybody that's not, the color they want. Yeah. But I think that when I present this and get this to these people, that they can protect themselves literally. I mean, the bulletproof vest, you're going to get hurt, okay? Yeah. You got the vest, you got the shield with you. You can walk up to a car and take a full load of a pistol, and you're not going to get hurt because it's going to take the hit, and you're going to say, "Hey, look, get out of the car. We're going to put you down." This is a deterrent, and this is also something that can also save lives. The person that's shooting. You don't have to kill everybody. No. I'm talking to the cops. You don't have to kill everybody, man. God damn.
They're just people that, they're just paranoid.
They're trigger happy.
And that's what I'm saying is like, if you're going to be paranoid and you're scared just to walk up to do a routine ticket or something, don't be a cop. Yep. Go do something else. Don't be a cop and be that scared, to be that quick to pull your gun on somebody,
I think it gets to that point. I don't think it starts at that point. Yeah. But once they see and they've experienced and they've heard of other stuff, then it starts getting to be a scary deal. And I think that what I have to have, I think it'll make them feel so much better. Mm-hmm. It'll really help to preserve their life and they won't, their peace of mind. They won't be so scared, and they can walk up with like it drained out of their system. Yeah. All right, and I know this for a fact because I was encountered by this. I did, and I ain't making it up. Hey, John, I don't have nothing
John,
here
real
written.
quick, if you can make sure you bring the mic just a little bit.
I don't have it all written down where I'm just scripting this out, and I'm not making it up. This is true. This is true. It's coming to me right now.
Yeah, everything in your life is true. I know.
You're right, man. Poor me, man.
Man, I've known you since I was 6 years old. I know.
Damn, dude. Now you made me feel old. Now, damn. Hey, dude, I was over there in the area like I was talking about, over there in Bear Creek, Copperfield area. I was on the Juarez side, which is Bear Creek, okay? And, dude, in my warehouse, they had a shootout out in front of my warehouse. Dude, I heard 8 gunshots.
Dang.
Bam, 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 bam. Over here, the next one's bam, 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 bam. And I said, man, I'm not even going to look. I said, man, they're going to shoot at me if I look. And I didn't even want to look out the window or peep at the blinds or nothing. I said, because if they see me, they're going to shoot at me.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot I had the shield. All right? And so I went and grabbed my shield. Esa me quitó todo el susto.
Mm-hmm.
All the fear.
It went away.
It went away because I knew that I could stop anything they've got.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying about getting it to the police, is because we need to get them to the point where they can help people, they can protect and serve without being so scared. Anyway, that's what I had in my mind on that subject for right now, this very second.
No,
I have a question for y'all.
Go
actually.
ahead, Yonatic. Go ahead.
You were talking about the police being paranoid and whatnot. You know, police, lots of times it's the same person that stops a bank robbery that's helping someone get their cat out of the tree. And what I want to know, what I'm curious what y'all think is, do y'all think the police have too many different jobs?
So to that point, Alec, I'll say this much because I think my brain operates the same as John's here, where like I'm going at 1,000,000 miles a minute, thinking different ideas at the same freaking time. We've been talking about we're really covering a lot of stuff within one area of the conversation, right? So, for example, like Alec just asked about the cops. So your question was, do we feel like they have too many tasks within what their job is?
Yeah, like,
right?
you know, for example, you just stopped a bank robbery. You just were in a shootout. And then, like, maybe not the next day. You may probably take a day off after that. But, you know, maybe the next week, it's a routine traffic stop. That's a really big jump. You know what I mean? Going from one thing to another.
So pretty much you're saying it's a lot to process for somebody. For one day to go stop a bank robber, the next day you're going to go get a cat out of the tree, and then after that,
and you're still in that mindset.
Yeah, and then you just had that shootout and stopped that bank robbery. Now you got to go do a routine traffic stop. Is that what you're trying to?
Yeah, and your mind is still kind of set in.
So if I could address
robbery
that,
mode.
if I could address that real quick, because we're talking about like with Ruben saying, you know, hey, you know, you're going to confront these things, and such as a cop, then don't be a cop. I think it's kind of hard because it goes back to with what Alex saying. It's kind of a mindset. Sometimes you do go in knowing certain things, right? For example, somebody who wants to be a cop, they go in and hopefully they have that good sense of morale where they're going in because they want to protect, they want to serve. It's not for the money. It's not because they get to put their siren on and cut the red light or cut the traffic, because that happens. But it's by individuals, right? But it is one of those things where I'm pretty sure we've had many of times where us as on our own, right? We're like, well, I'm prepared mentally. And so you're saying this to yourself to go do this job. And then when you get there to that job, it's different from what you put in your mind, right? And so for these gentlemen and ladies that are in police, I think maybe, yes, they go in with that mindset. They're going to protect and serve. But it's like John said, then when you're in the middle of it, when you're in the midst of it, where like you probably aren't going to go home to your loved ones that night or the next morning, I think that's where the fear kicks in. And to the point, like Alex said, hey, you go a week where you're just like, oh yeah, I'm giving this guy a ticket because he stopped a red light, or he passed a red light, or he passed a stop sign, or he was going 75 in a school zone, right? To then all of a sudden you're like in some kind of shootout with gangsters or whatever the case may be. And it's no longer that little, oh, it's just a ticket. It's like, I might not be leaving here today. And I think that's where you have to consider the mentality of it all when it comes to these police officers, that they approach you to just do a traffic stop. Meanwhile, you don't know this guy just came from almost losing his life. And you're just like, really, guy? You're scared? But then if you would know that, hey, he just came from possibly losing his life, you'd be like, all right, I get it.
Yeah, it's like he was saying, is that you can go to trying to help somebody and actually did help somebody. Mm-hmm. Then you go to a domestic violence call, and then you wind up the guy that that's there that's being aggressive. He pulls out a gun, and you have no choice. Hey, put the gun down, put the gun down, put the gun down, and all of a sudden you have to shoot somebody. That stuff's got to be pretty traumatic on you, and it's going to take time to get over it. What I'm trying to do with what I'm creating, and as we go along, you'll learn more about it, but it's to get the fear out of them. That's why I told the story about those that did the shootout in front of my building did, and I'm talking about in Little Juarez over here in Bear Creek. I call it Little Juarez, man, but it's nothing but raza. But I wound up there, and I liked it there. You know, I picked up a lot of different Spanish that I thought there was only one Spanish. No, man, there's a whole of it. Man, there's more Spanish that there's some people I can't even understand. Okay, and so. But it drained me of the fear, and I feel that once the municipalities, being the commissioners' courts and the people that are empowered to say, hey, look, we'd like to do a demo with it so we can get it to the schools and we can get it to the police. And I even had mentioned to them that I could find a way to donate them through a GoFundMe. I don't mind doing that. I don't need the whole big money grab.
Yeah, you just want to do it to help the people.
Well, I on my card it says "Saving Lives Matters," and that's what I'm.
Wait a minute, because I love what you just said, and I was actually going that route when you were talking about it, about your the shield, and I was like, okay, and you are angling this with the objective of actually helping people, saving lives, as opposed to many of the big corporate businesses that what they want to do is they want to have money out of it. And then I'm hearing you say things like I can donate, we could do the GoFundMe things. I think that's amazing, that's great. And you closing that out with your card says saving lives matters.
My card says it on the front, dude, and I don't have the name of the company on the card, and I don't have no websites on the card.
But I just the slogan.
I have my logo is one of the bullets that I stopped in one of my shields, and I got a whole bag of them because these shields stop bullets. Like every time I go to shoot to test them, I'll build a few, then I'll pick one out and I'll take it and I'll go shoot it. And the whole time I'm going, man, I hope it works. I hope it works. I hope it works. And then I leave and I'm quiet. Because it worked, and I'm on the right track. I said, so how am I going to get the city and the community to understand it, all right? And I talked to some retired cops just recently, and they were like, oh, man, if we would have had it, that would have been good, but this and that, and you can't go talk to these people, and you can't go talk to these people because they're all corrupt. And I'm talking people in the courts. And judges, and I'm not going to go past that. Otherwise, they're going to shut us down. So I'm not going to go past that.
Because they don't care about anything
Their
else.
interest is how can we take it from this dude and make money on it. And then we'll just get rid of him,
They'll probably say, we'll give you X amount of money for your idea.
If they give me any money, they might give me a paleta con tierra. And that's the fact, Jack.
It's sad,
I was just thinking that. I was just thinking that right now. I'm like, I mean, I hope you don't have Nikola Tesla written on the back of you, because that's just exactly what you look at with a lot of these great creators that they're innovative and they do it with the greatest interest, which is to better humanity. And then it's like, oh, okay.
Well, we don't want that.
And
we want to keep them. We want to keep our feet on their neck.
And they're where now? We don't know.
Yeah, it's just like the cancer cures. What the hell is wrong with you? Get that shit off the table. We can't save lives. How are we going to get paid?
Well, you see, because I fully believe that there is a cure for cancer. I mean, if they found one for they didn't find one. If they found one for
HIV.
Oh yeah, that HIV. Then what? Why can't they find one for cancer? I feel like there is one somewhere, but because they won't make money off of it.
Yeah.
It'll cost less to save someone rather than you sign them up for chemo, radiation, hospital bills. It's a
bracket between the big money players.
And, if you think about all the hospitals, man, they're pretty much mafia families. If you want to think about it, it's like, when you wrong a doctor, they'll put your name out there, and no hospital anywhere will see you. You know, it's scary about how much power hospitals have. You know?
Hospitals, insurance companies.
Oh, those guys, yeah.
I mean, those are the heavyweights.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the hospitals have 5 families. Between the hospital names and all that, and then insurance stuff and all kinds of stuff, man. Everything's a monopoly. Everything's money hungry, and it's what can they do to keep the people down?
Well,
I
was gonna say I agree with a lot of that.
For
example,
the mafia thing.
Well, not necessarily that, but the hospitals putting you on a list, caring more about some people than others. Like, for example, my brother, he recently passed about a year ago. He was not doing too well.
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sorry about that.
But yeah, he was homeless and he was just not doing good.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, they helped him a little bit, but it didn't really, me and my mother, we felt like they didn't really give him the supreme care that they give everyone. Because at the end of the day, he was a taker. You know what I mean by that? Like he was a leech to the system. You could almost say. He was not making money. He was not working for anyone. He was homeless. He was going to shelters, and we think, because of that, lots of people in that situation, they're not really going to give them the full 100%. We're going to do everything we can to save your life because, who are you?
Yeah.
You're right about all that. And you become just a number. And if you don't have any money, well, then the numbers start to fade, and then they just let you go. And I know a few people like that too. I was blessed that I had made some money, and I wound up going through paying myself and finding gurus that knew what they were doing, and I had to buy new medicines and different stuff, and that was it was a scary time, and thank God, right now I'm going on 8 years remission, and I had to quit all the rascal stuff, and I had
the sad part is you had to quit what we're doing right
yeah.
and for everybody, John here's been sober for a long time, and I feel bad that we're drinking, but this was a last minute thing, and it's but luckily
I didn't have tinted windows, because I would have never answered the car window if you're knocking on it.
So
he sounds more drunk than y'all.
He's on that natural drunk though, which is the best kind of drunk that you can be. But
he's drunk on life.
But, I am. Talking seriously on the points that we touched on right now, for example, Ruben talking about the whole, him thinking that there really is a cure for cancer. I think it's a possibility, right? For sure. And I have to think that it's probably larger of a probability, considering that, for example, let's date back cancer. How long back does cancer go where people are like, oh, this is cancer, right?
Known of it, probably 20s, 30s, maybe.
Probably maybe more.
But we don't even know, because they probably didn't even know what cancer was at that time.
Right, yeah, exactly. And how long back does Corona go?
Corona.
Dos Equis? The Corona.
That was
it was short. So
they started the little bottles back in like 2010, and the ones they had in Mexico. No, the coronavirus.
The COVID.
It was 2008 at the end of 2018.
No,
2000.
It was
maybe 2019.
It's 2019 is when it hit the U.S. Whenever the world started talking about it,
hit the U.S.
Yeah, maybe late 2018 when it probably started.
Yeah. Fact check.
Yeah, late 2018 is when it probably started happening around China. Fun fact, I was actually in Russia in 2019, and I think I actually ended up getting it.
What were you doing in Russia?
Getting himself a Russian
massage.
Russian
massage.
Did you get a Russian massage or something?
I was meeting some quote friends there and making memories.
Definitely.
Sweet.
Were you having swinger parties?
Oh, I don't know about swinger. I gotta have someone, like, I have to have a partner to have a swinger party.
So you went there solo?
Yeah.
You get no kind of Russian tail over there?
Massage?
Whoa, I don't want to talk about that too much.
He doesn't want to talk about that.
Say,
I'm married.
It was a great time.
But to that, we'll get back to the Russians in a minute.
Well, I was just gonna say, I actually think I had COVID. Then I got really sick at the end of that, and that, Russia's a lot closer to China and they have a lot more Chinese come in there than the United States. So yeah, I think I may have been one of the early people that brought it over here.
So let's take
I want to tell you, thank you, man. God damn, I was hurting, boy.
let's take a swing at it. Say 2018, 2019, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when did they find the vaccination? When did they get the vaccine? Where hey,
2020.
Well, Trump said if you did a little bit of ammonia in your water, that it would help you. So I don't know if that was a cure or that he was just making it up like he makes everything else up.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think he was just yapping, man.
yeah, he's
Yeah, but he was
crazy
thinking
guy.
them hillbillies were good, man.
He's
They were talking about Lysol.
trying to get
and
rid
you're
of these
like-
guys.
They said put
You
Lysol.
just spray yourself with Lysol, you're going to be all right.
Look, guys, all you got to do is, that alcohol you have sitting, the rubbing alcohol, just bathe in it every day and you'll be straight.
There's some ladies,
Yeah,
ladies,
and they're
you
going
just
to be
gotta pee on me.
all manchado white, extra white.
Put Vicks on your chest and your feet.
But
There you go.
to what I was saying is that, like, quickly, right? They had like, oh yeah, we got this, and what did it all entail is these pharmaceuticals were able to come out with commercials and ads, and you have celebrities sponsoring it, getting paid. Like, yeah, make sure you get your vaccine, and it's like, it's all back to it.
Money.
Everything is money,
Money grab.
money grabbing.
Yeah.
That's all
Because
it really was.
How do you come up with something so quick that's killing people? That's why I think the whole COVID thing was all fake, because, I mean, it has to be fake. I mean, there's no way around it. I mean, because how does you create something that quick and it just doesn't make sense, you know?
Well, that it was fake. I wouldn't say that.
I think that was their version of genocide.
Right. The virus itself was definitely real, and people lost their lives due to it, sadly. But it was definitely something that I would consider was planned.
Oh,
It
definitely.
was
Because then,
dialogue. Like,
because
it's like,
even-
hey, let's do this, and this way we do a couple of things within one stone.
And I believe that too. These people that are high up, they got the buttons to push to go and go. You know what? Just let it down a little bit over here.
Illuminati.
Hey, Alec, are you
What's
able
up?
to edit and bleep out the C word? Because we got bad last time. Because
It depends on. I mean, I'd have to know where it is.
No, but last time we got way deep into
Yeah.
that conversation.
yeah,
So
probably so.
the sad part is we actually had an actual registered nurse there.
Yeah,
and
registered nurse that was talking about the situation,
And YouTube
experience,
and YouTube deleted our video.
YouTube was like, "No, you can't talk about this."
So the next episode, the next sit down we did was a complete rant on how YouTube,
Making up?
Yeah, our next episode.
no,
was
not making up. We were pissed. We were letting YouTube know we're pissed at you.
Yeah,
you
we were
fucking
talking-
dicks.
Yeah,
More me than Ruben.
yeah, it was more him. I was just there.
I mean, don't suggest a platform as a platform where you could freely speak. And when I freely speak, you're like, no, we can't have that.
Yeah, it's because of the bigger guys are going.
Yeah,
You can't
exactly.
say that,
Mhm.
goddamn.
Well, because what she was saying was, it made a lot of sense, and she was pretty much saying like, yeah, I think a lot of stuff was over exaggerated.
And she
Pretty
was,
much.
and then she was in the battlefield, So.
And she was there. She was in the ER. She used to be an ER nurse, or she still is an ER nurse.
even experienced, I think, giving birth to her child during that
COVID.
time too.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's
So
scary.
she was in the midst of
and
it.
she said it. She said, it was. I don't want to say. Well, I guess not troubling, but it was. I guess the way I said scary for her, or
Oh,
she
yeah.
said it was
Those are easy words to understand.
Yeah.
Scary. Everybody knows
because
that.
because honestly, and she had told us that she didn't know what to expect. I mean, she had her kid during COVID, literally like either in late 2019, 2020, and she said those hospitals were packed, man. To be pregnant, to still do that, and then be worried about, damn, am I gonna get this virus? How am I gonna have this kid? Stuff like that. It was a
That's
pretty,
real time scare.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
100%.
And she said it. She said I was worried. I didn't know what to expect. And she's now she's fine. I mean, she's an MMA fighter now, and she's still a nurse. She does it, man. She's a grade A all around.
I was gonna say
So
she's
she,
a
like-
tough cookie.
She
Yeah.
beats the shit out of people
And then
fixes
cleans them up.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, by the way, I'll see you later. Like, what do you mean? Yeah, I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
make
patch you
sure I
up.
take care of your wounds. I know where I hurt you really bad.
She's like stitching them back together. Like, damn, I'm tough.
You got insurance?
Oh yeah. First thing, hey,
You
hold
got
on.
it.
You got insurance? You got. But
Shout out to her.
Yeah, to Amber.
Absolutely.
Amber.
Not heard.
Yeah, she's a tough person, man, to deal with all that and be a single mom and to deal with all that, man. She's a tough cookie.
Well, that's probably why she's MMA, because she's
Well,
getting her frustrations out.
Me and her were in it a long time ago. I saw how I know her because when I used to train. I don't know if my dad had told you that, but I used to train in that. That's where I wanted my life to go, and that's where I met her at a gym that we were at, and a great gym, and that's where we met and we came up together. But she stuck with it, and not only that, but became a nurse, moved to Waco, or Fort Worth, and became a mom and everything. Man, she's thriving, man. She's a tough person.
She's motivated.
Oh yeah, very motivated. Trust me, she is.
It's nice to see somebody like that. We like to see a lot of people like that.
And there's not many people like her. Because she's like when she's there,
Well, especially it's really great to see because I've seen her post. I follow her on Instagram, and I've seen her post where she does these motivational things and about positive mentality and progress and fighting through life, right? And it's great to see that in a young lady, in a woman, as opposed to, hey, I'm on here just showing my body. And take a look at my tits and my ass. Not that we're against that, but
especially John, right, John?
But isn't that?
That's why we had the pole in the car.
But it's better to see that, like so just to give the idea for women, because there's that misconception that what a man is looking for in his life is a woman that's that, right? That's the glamour and the glitter and the hotness. It's like, this is what men want. No, that's what we want in the bed. But as far as what we want,
they do get older,
Exactly.
Once they get older,
but what we want to, what I'll say this is, because no one really, to per se needs a certain person to make them happy in their lives. But what we want, which is exactly what God intended when he created Eve, is a complement to our lives, right? Something additional that adds more happiness than what we already have. And as John said, the whole look of, hey, these tits, the ass and the face and all that, it deteriorates. There's a timestamp on that. And all you have after that is the personality, characteristics that should be of a woman.
I was talking to somebody the other day. I said, hey, look, I'll take sweetness over sex appeal right now. I said, sweetness is really, when you meet somebody that's really sweet and dear, it's everything else. It's a blinder. She has to be decent. Okay.
Yeah, you still have to have some attraction.
There has to be a physical attraction.
Yeah, but somebody that's really sweet, and I tells all, I'm saying it to all the girls, and kudos to the young lady that's doing it, the mother and the nurse and the MMA fighter. My hat goes off to her.
And she don't play, man. If she thinks you're an idiot, well, she'll tell you.
That's cool.
She don't play.
That's cool. That's what we want to hear.
She got to that point, it was like that grew on her. She just got to where, like, it's just me and my son. I got to do what I got to do.
And fuck all y'all, unless y'all going to love me.
No,
unless y'all going to love me. Not like, hey, you have to, like, respect her and show her, we respect you. We love you. You're a human being. We love you.
And she's a great person, too. Very sweet, very nice, Just don't piss her off.
Well, that was a coincidental. I was over in the territory in the Bear Creek Juarez section, and there was an ambulance company at the very back, and they have a rotating door, and there's girls that go in to go work for minimum wage, and they're learning. And there was a young Chicana going through there, and I was standing on the corner, hey, hey, you're going over to the ambulance company, huh? She goes, that's the only girls that look good that go over there anyway. So she goes, yeah, I'm going over there. And she was sweet right from the bat. She was sweet, and I could tell it. And then so I lowered the tone.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, well, good luck, and I hope everything goes good. And I'll be talking to you around because I'll hang out here, and I usually see them coming and going. And then all of a sudden they come. Well, I told a friend of mine that worked there. I said, hey man, what about that chick, dude? He goes, man, she'll beat the shit out of you, man. She goes, she's MMA. And I said, what? And so I'm going, okay. Well, she was nice. She was a good-looking girl. I need somebody that fits that bill to help demo my shield. All right. Right now, I have a Russian karate studio.
Alec, is that you?
Yeah.
Did you go to Russia for that?
You got me. No, I went to China for that.
Oh,
That's
China,
what he was doing in Russia.
Oh,
And there's a Russian massage parlor next door.
whoa.
Hey, but the thing is that these guys, I had been talking to them for a couple of years, and they'd been following me along with it. And they have a studio, and they have their golden, their world championship belts. And I said, well, look, guys, would y'all help out?
I got one in beer drinking.
They had one. I had one in lying. Okay, everything I do is a lie. I take it back. I said, but first I got to get my medal.
Okay.
But the girl, she's MMA, and and I want to talk to her about doing demos. We got to show that it can be used as self-defense. The idea in my head was de-escalation. Okay, de-escalation. We don't have to kill everybody. All right, they might be. For a minute, they went off. They snapped.
Yeah, it
all
happens.
right.
It happens.
Maybe the wife pissed off the guy. Maybe he caught somebody with her, and he snapped. And
Or sometimes maybe she caught him with something, and she snaps.
Yeah,
and,
it works both ways. And
why did you like this bitch on Instagram?
Why did you like hers and not mine? Oh, we're getting off topic already, Sal.
yeah, so I already had enough of that. That's why. What is something new?
Time to milk another cow.
But the bottom line was that it was a matter of de-escalation, and that's one of the ideas that I have for the shield. So we have to teach. I wanted the karate studio to say it's okay to bring the MMA girls so they could fight with it, because I've already beat the shit out of this fucking shield with a butcher knife, with a bat, with a gun, with a knife.
I'll give it to my nephew. I'm sure he can break it. He's breaking everything right now. I'm sure.
Yeah, he's in the break everything mode.
I'm sure he'll break it somehow.
He'll be in that mode to be 25.
Oh, he's one.
Yeah, he'll keep that.
Let's
mode
get
to
him at
25.
the peak at 2.
Yeah,
right. And then he's like, "Oh, you think this shield
we'll
is
bring a
shit?"
shield in, and they go, "Can you break that?" And boy, we'll let him on the floor.
Now we're leaking how to break the shield.
Oh,
That's not good. We're gonna start bringing
Just have a
one-year-old babies.
2-year-old. Well, the thing is that we have not found a way to break the shield.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's good, though.
The composition that's involved in this
Don't share
it
it.
came from so many.
Don't share it.
Don't reveal too
It
much.
came from so many areas, and so many groups of composite peoples that are selling military materials and all that. They took a liking to me because I met one guy that was in military, and he liked what I was doing, and he turned me on to more people. And I took a little bit from everybody, and I created a formula, and that formula works. And that shield is only 4 pounds, and so it's easy to carry.
Wow,
And
4 pounds is nothing.
It's nothing.
That's
and
great.
you got a strap on, so not a strap on. I have a strap
Hey,
on
if you want that too, if you want that too, man, go ahead, man.
So all I am seeing right now is red, white, and blue with a star, and me just holding it like.
Can you make it into a Captain America shield?
I can make it into a Captain American shield.
There
The
you
first
go.
guy I had even ever mentioned it to, he said, it's another whole story, but he goes, "Oh, you'll be Captain America."
You know what's crazy? Because when he showed me that's the first thing
The
I
first
thought
thing
of
that popped
was
into your
Captain
head.
America.
Bro, can you imagine robbing a bank and then the police comes in with a Captain America shield?
Oh my god,
I ain't
shit would scare the
scared.
hell
I ain't
out of me.
scared.
Stars and straight.
they would want it then.
Well, I had thought about doing it, painting it, and Captain, doing it in that color scheme. But right now, I'm doing the color schemes that I want for the police
Just
to
neutral,
have.
just
Yes,
neutral color
yeah.
schemes.
So maybe this is an idea that I can suggest,
Sure.
right? And if you're fine with that, and I'm pretty sure you're a very knowledgeable person. The little bit we spent talking before we got on, and sitting down now, I really if I were to ever question you, it would be like at a 1%. But you've probably already thought about this. What's the plans?
What's the end game?
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay, never mind.
What's
That's a
the
movie.
plan? What is the focus on how to prevent this great contribution from getting in the wrong hands?
Okay. So, like I said, I talked to ex-cops, ex-judge, and I talked to some high-end people in corporations, and their first question was, what about the police? And I said, I'm not selling to the general public until the police have it.
Okay.
I said, the police have to have this because if the adversarial types, criminals or whatever it is, if they have it, then the police are going to have a hard time stopping these people because they're going to be outgunned.
Yeah.
It's going to be Mexico, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And so I said, I will not sell to the general public until we get it to security people, and we get it to our first responders, and we get it to the
teachers,
police. And the teachers was the main focus at first. Okay, and to get
you were thinking about those school shootings.
Yes,
and stuff.
my heart was still hurting from the Uvalde deal,
Gotcha.
and it still hurts to this day. I can't even imagine how that city absorbed that, you know, because it was the worst thing that ever happened in America to me.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I used to take trips down there to the fort down there in Bracketville, and you have to pass through Uvalde to get there. And after it had happened, we went and took a trip down to. I went to take a trip down there to visit, and there were people out there, and they had loads of pictures and postings of the young children. It gave you chills.
It would bring tears to my eyes.
Yeah.
That's what it would do. I tell people, or people that know me really close, I don't get real high and I don't get real low. I'm right there, even keyed. And the only thing that
I knew that too would hit it off.
I knew that the only thing that ever bring a tear to my eye was happiness. That's the only thing that would bring a tear to my eye was happiness. But when I thought about the kids in Uvalde, that touched me real deep. And that's when I said, no, I will not quit until I find the perfect formula for this deal. The idea came from a big shield. The big shields the police have, the riot people have.
Ones,
okay, they're big. They're 87 pounds.
Oh.
Okay, that's why they only have one, because they only got one guy big enough to handle it. Then they're almost $6,000. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, what mine does, we sunk the shield. We shrunk the shield, and it came down into the size. And they, well, how'd you come up with that design? I said, well, first I made it for road rage. So I put it in the back seat, and I was bringing it across the back seat and the headrest and the headliner, and certain sizes wouldn't clear it. And this is a matter of a second, a fraction. And so I finally got the right size, and it cleared, and that's where I made the design from. And so they said, well, you need to get a design patent. I said, man, anybody can copy a design. You may not be very familiar with the process of the U.S. government trademark people, but they said, oh, yeah, we can make you a design patent and blah, blah, blah. And the attorney says, dude, that's not going to be good enough. You need what they call a utility design. I said, well, what the fuck is that? Obviously, that's going to cost more, isn't it? So they explained it to me. And they said, well, you have to go through from a piece of dirt that it was to the finished product, and you have to explain it all, what's in it, how you got it to that point. And I did. And they sent me the proof back. And I said, man, y'all didn't hear a damn word I said. I said, man, y'all listening to me, man? What? Y'all, come on, man. Look, I said it like this. And then I did videos of it, of the materials, as when they come in in una cajita, and they was like, it was nothing. It was just nothing. And then I showed them. I said, this is unrefined. This is refined. This is unrefined. This is refined, and so on and so on. And then they go, okay, are you finished? Because we can't ride anymore until you finish. And I said, yeah, I'm finished, dude. So they send me the, and this is the government, you know, they're sending it to the government. I want them to understand. The biggest thing is that nobody can copy it. You know?
Yeah.
That's why I'm pending it. And right now it's in pending patent, and they can't take the materials I have in it and then duplicate it. That would be in violation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very difficult, dude, to reverse engineer it. It would be comical, all right, if they were trying to reverse engineer it, because it's gonna slap the shit out of them. They're gonna put it in a chop saw and all kinds of saws and trying to break it, and that the shit don't break because it's made with a special hardened resin.
And you make all these shoes yourself, right?
I make them myself because I didn't want anybody to know about it. Nobody.
Yeah.
And I didn't even want to leak the information as far as where it could be found. So that's why I moved out of Juarez. All right. Because people were noticing it more, and I was making it. And believe me, it wasn't no easy task because, you know, I'm not an engineer in composites, and I didn't want anybody to know anything about it, so I had to learn how to make them.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Are the shields clear?
No, they are black, and I did them in black just to give them that mean look for the cops. Okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna paint them, you know, pretty pink or anything like that, or blues or green. But I showed one to Ruben that I painted in a candy apple red.
I mean, you could paint yours. You can paint yours pink if you want.
Get the All Things Relevant logo on it.
ATR.
We
on
could
it.
put a Russian flag on it.
Man, that would be dope. You put that on there. We have it here on the table.
All Things
man.
Relevant. That'd be crazy.
What was it?
Wow.
To put that on the shield, and then we can have it here and set it there on the table every time we do the podcast.
It's fucking A. Why not?
You see, and Alec, we'll get one for you that's a hot pink.
Oh man, I would love that.
That says I love Russians.
That says
Hot pink
I love Russians, young Alec.
I will put that behind me if there's a camera on me.
There you go.
Whenever it
You see?
switches to me.
But man, that would be.
But yeah,
dope.
I can do it in any color, and I did it in a color like this because I wanted to show people that I have friends of mine in the restaurants, and I say, hey, look, I want to bring this in, but I don't want to scare the shit out of people, or they're going to call cops if they see me walk in with it. They're going to think it's a live shooting.
Yeah.
And so I painted it in a candy apple red because I just happened to have some candy apple red, and it came out badass.
Yeah.
It came out
did.
badass. And so I can do it in any color. And so that was the idea, is to get celebrity women in particular, to say, hey, this is part of the accessory. It's part of my accessory. Now they can carry it 4 pounds, and they're protected. Okay.
Celebrity women. Alec, are you available for that?
Hey, you want to get me one?
Celebrity
available?
Russian.
Yeah.
Your hair's long enough, Alec. I mean, you. Probably
You're kind of scaring me. I don't know if I want to.
Oh, okay.
You've been looking at me funny today. I may have to stay away from you.
That was the whole idea behind the shield, because of the road rage, and then it got bigger, and then it turned in that it's bigger than me, because it's going to take a lot more money to make it, mass produce it. It took me these few years just to get it to where I could make it and make it at ease, make it easy. And now they're easy to make.
Yeah.
All right. But I told the guys in Juarez that were watching me,
Like how he says that. He's like,
they were like, oh man, so where you keep the material? You know, how you make it? How you make it? So I moved.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah,
And
they were trying to get you.
I had a feeling that eventually they would break into my place.
Oh, yeah.
And steal the materials, and then they wouldn't know what to do with
But
it.
then,
course,
that's the
yeah,
thing,
it's
too.
like,
They wouldn't
yeah.
know what to
Yeah.
do. They just have a bunch of material, and they're like, well, shit, I don't know what to do
Believe
with
me,
this.
I had to go through some shit to figure out
Not
what the
bad.
hell I was doing, and then
You went through a lot of trial and error.
oh yeah, I went through a lot of trial. I got chingazo de basura, and I won't throw it away because I can use pieces of it.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so I don't throw it. It's composites. It's it's a material, so I can always reuse it.
I really like the idea of you painting it different colors, just specifically because I don't know what it is, but to me it looks badass as hell. If there's a shield that like has like bullet like scratches and stuff all over it, and whenever you paint it like red or something like that, that really pops.
Yeah, it really does.
Like
does,
if someone's ever shot at that shield and then like you're holding that in front of someone, they're like, oh damn, that person's.
It's
Yeah, 'cause
already,
they-
it's
they
already
toy-
took a hit.
Because they'll see it like the candy, like the niceness, right? And they'll be like, what happened here? And you're like, dude, that story? Let me tell you how crazy that shit was.
Yeah.
You see
You
this?
got a minute?
You see this bullet? This bullet got a story. This one got a story. That guy right there, whew, man, if only you knew.
Yeah, and that's the truth, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's the truth. Everything that I have has a story behind it because I got hit. I got scars. To cover all these
Yeah.
stories. But I
just
do
checking you.
I do intend on doing some different colors,
hmm
a yellow, pearl.
Whatever you
And,
do, you got to make a hot pink one for this guy over here.
Well, we'll get to that point. I'll talk to him here shortly about the Russian girls, and then we'll make a decision.
Yeah.
But
There
in the
you go, Alec.
meantime, I don't have a problem. We'll make one that looks like this. We're gonna have to get somebody to make the letters because all I do is paint. I'm not gonna, my letters would look like that if I did it with a little brush, but the rest of it, it can be a wrap.
There you
if
go.
you had it in wrap, you
There
just
you
do it
go.
in a wrap, and I've done that before too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that, and then I found out the wrap ain't gonna worth a shit because all they do is throw it in the back seat, and if it hits a fucking beer can back in the back seat, it doesn't scratch the vinyl.
Trust me, ours is going to sit right there, right under the TV with our logo and everything on it right there.
It's tough.
That's
It's
all.
tough.
You can hold on to it,
There
bring
you
it every
go.
time.
Yeah.
Just don't be throwing beer cans
No,
or
man.
Yeah,
shield.
and the biggest hardest thing is because to get the community to understand, unfortunately, in my head, I'm gonna have to take a hit.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, I'm gonna have to hold the shield, and have paramedics and police and
Like to actually do a live test and
do
to
a
show
live
them
shooting that it's for real.
I got you.
And
Don't worry about it.
I ain't scared.
Look, I'll be the shooter or the shield holder, whatever you
Well,
want.
I don't know. It depends how many drinks you've had. But
You ready, Sal? We'll both do
are
it.
you ready? Let's go get it.
This is kind of a hard to answer question.
Go
and
ahead.
I wouldn't blame you if you had no answer for
Are
it.
you hard?
But okay,
that-
you talking about my hair? Now you're asking me this.
Or the question's hard.
Yeah,
You thought
Okay.
the question
No,
was
the
gonna be
question's hard.
Listen, I'm
Okay.
gonna have to take. I'm gonna put a 10-foot pole in between me.
Okay, I
and you.
got you. Go ahead.
No, but I was gonna ask you actually. You probably won't be able to answer this, but once they are released to the general public, how much do you think they'll cost?
I'm not going to answer that just yet.
Yeah, I
it's
didn't
best
think
not to.
so.
That's
but
kind of something that's hard
let's put it this way. It's pretty expensive to make because the materials are very specialized.
I wouldn't imagine.
And but how
Have
do
you
put
thought
it-
about maybe I know you can sell them at gun shows. I know.
Well, there's another story there.
Okay.
And
you got a story for days. That's why I like this guy.
yeah, we're gonna
You
have
got
a story for another
days,
day
man.
because that could be a long one. I can't carry the shield with me everywhere right now. Okay, it's just not permitted.
Yeah.
So, to answer that, I don't know what to say. I wish I could be more aggressive and taking it to I've taken, like I said, I've taken it to the commissioner's court, send emails, send letters. I walked up there and dropped a letter off. Went to a town and say, look, I can help your town. My end game, because I have I said there's 213 million households in America. And I know how to achieve those numbers to make that many. I know how.
Yeah.
And it'll take time, but in 10 years,
It could be done.
it can be done. But the numbers at the end of the 10 years would be $142 billion. All right? So this is not small numbers. I don't need that kind of money. I've had money. I have peace now.
Yeah.
And
That's all that matters to you.
And the money, it's nice to have, and people, and say, well, money doesn't buy love, and money doesn't, it's not everything. I say, yeah, well, it's not everything, but it sure makes everything easier.
Oh, it sure does.
Uh-huh.
And trust
So
me,
it
and
makes-
money
yeah, it
can
makes
buy
it-
love.
I was about
You
to
just-
say.
where you go.
by the hour.
Yeah, by the hour, by the dancer, wherever you want.
But-
Well, it may buy you a trip to where you meet your love.
or a trip to
Russia?
Oh,
Russia.
that's not what I was getting at. But since you mentioned,
Well, but like I said, it's not the money.
Yeah,
I don't.
You
need
just
that.
want to help people.
I want to save some lives and say, hey, there was a raza, un chicano. Well, they call us Tejanos, okay? Because this used to be Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And here, when it turned into Texas, the official word was Tejano. In 1836, the name Tejano came up.
Yeah.
And that's when Mexico beat the shit out of fucking, lost to fucking Santa Ana, and that was it. They fucking toqueardos y la chingada. They said, look, man, we're gonna give you some white girls, and y'all just go on, and we're gonna take it over, okay?
I would have been fine with that. I'd be like, a white girl?
Yeah,
Redhead?
but is she
Green
white
eyes?
American or white girl?
There you go, Sal.
And so, but I love all girls and shit. It doesn't
Hey.
have to be white. Shit.
Hey,
I feel
there you
you.
go.
They have to be
Sure,
women are beautiful.
I'm
All
I'm
of
just
them.
going by my preference. That's all I'm going by.
Me
Okay.
too. I'll take them all.
I love all of them, but I have
you're
a
speaking my
preference.
language now.
There you go. Is it Russia?
Yeah,
No,
I was
I'm
going to say
talking about
Russian
loving them
too.
all.
If we're going to talk specifically, I like chinitas. And that's because I can't get Chinese eyes no more.
Oh.
I said, well, at least I can have a Chinese one next to
There
me.
you go.
know?
Oh,
But speaking on that, not on white girls or Russian girls,
Or
I'm-
chinas.
my head's thinking about something
There you go.
that we were talking about, the whole thing with money, right? Like, for example, you said you've had money, you don't need that. It does make things easier, and I agree. It makes things easier on the I guess the way of living.
Yep.
Kind of deal, right?
it definitely makes it easier to where if you want to go do something, you can just go do it.
Yeah, and there was actually I saw a post where this it was a chick that actually said it, that she's like, if you have a lot of money, you can pretty much have whatever woman you want, right?
Yep.
But the right woman is gonna want you with or without money.
Yeah.
And there's a difference to that entirely.
Yeah. And it's the truth.
And it's the truth.
Okay.
And it's the truth.
And like I was saying about the money, yes, the money would be nice, but how much money do I need, man? I've already had the money, and it almost killed me. So, I find more peace in being able to help raza and to elevate la raza. And it doesn't have to be just raza. I'm talking about, people that are in the vicious cycle of community destruction, because, you go to the wards or you go to Sunnyside or you go anywhere and they don't ever leave the hood.
Yeah.
Their tíos in prison, their tías in prison, hasta la abuela's in prison.
Everybody.
And so now it's my turn, tia, I'm going to go now, okay? And so they never leave the cycle,
Yeah.
okay? And so my thoughts were, and I specifically targeted Lena Hidalgo because of her education. She's a tough woman, and she's a target, and I studied her, and I studied her education, and she's a badass. All right, but politics will make things in your head that you're gone. The bottom line is that I can't find the right people in the political world that aren't all about money grab. All right, so I'm trying a different way with small towns, and I'm going to another town here soon to talk to some club owners. Now, it's one of my favorite places. It's a big party strip, like Bourbon Street. Okay, but I have a
Sixth
friend.
Street.
Well, no, it's I go to Memphis.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Because I party down in Memphis, and I don't even drink anymore, and I party and I have a good time because of the music and shit like that. Well, I talked to the main guy that is the main musician of that strip, and we got along. And he goes, dude, I got a guy here, man. He's got 3 clubs. He'll do anything I say. And so here's my personal number, and you call me whenever we do it, because I was telling him, hey, we should do this, man. We should do this, and he listened to me. For some reason, he listened to me, and he's a master. He's an old school master musician in Memphis Blues Society.
Wow.
And so I said, well, we talked and talked, and we got along. And so we're same age. Well, he's a few years younger than me, but we got along real well. I like the music, and I just happened I look for him, and I tell him, hey, dude, I think we ought to do this, dude. He goes, I like that fucking idea, dude. I like it. Hey, the guy, he does. So I was going to go talk to them because they're connected to the police, and they get ambushed in Memphis. They do 911 calls, and then they shoot them. Yeah, they call them, and then they get there, and I thought, and I'm going, people like that, man. I mean, you get the shield and you put it up like this as you're getting out of the car, you're protected. And now you see where the muzzle shots are coming from. And then now you can attack, and you can attack tactically. And so that's what I'm working on right now. I need somebody that, because I don't have no sense when it comes to social media, cameras, or nothing like that. The only sense I have is when I focus on something to make something, I'm making it, get the fuck out of my way.
Yeah.
This is all I'm working on, and I'm not thinking about nothing else. So I don't have any clue on how to make a video, how we're going to do it, but I do have tactical ideas, and I do have ideas how we can do a live shooting. And
the hell was that?
Is your throat done farting over there?
I was joking. I was like, need help with cameras?
Hey, there's a company that's
Please
doing...
tell me it's dark over there. Your throat was farting, and you're not gagging on a ball sack or anything.
Oh, man. I forgot what I was talking about. I heard that, man. I forgot what I was talking about.
I was making a joke.
There you go. Okay, we're done. We're done with the throat.
All jokes, young guy.
Yeah, we're cool with that. But so I'm going over there to let them see, because I need the money, like, from a city that I can put my whole operation there, and then they can disperse it how they want. And they're notorious.
Yeah.
But their food and their music there is they're an international tourist spot, and I like hanging out there. Okay?
Yeah.
New Orleans, I did when I drank. When I used to drink a lot, shit.
You lived in New Orleans.
I was there until morning. They only close for an hour, so
He's like, I opened and closed the bar.
Pretty much, dude. And I might take a bite to eat or something while in between. And I might, it was a blast, dude. And I had a lot of fun in my life. And when the time came that I was diagnosed, and they, it was not good.
What were you diagnosed with, so everybody knows?
Well,
if you want to talk about it.
I was diagnosed with liver cancer, okay, and cirrhosis, and hepatitis C.
Oh my God!
All right,
I had no idea.
They pretty
I just
much
know about your liver.
Yeah, they said there ain't nobody gonna help you.
Yeah,
that's what the doctor said.
And you said nope. Someone gonna help me somow.
And so,
is it that I'll help myself?
Well, my wife at the time, she's like, dude,
what's up?
Your mentality is so strong that you can cure yourself. And I said, look, girl, and a lot of things, yes, but this is serious.
Yeah,
this is not gonna go away. And I had 3 come out of that. That we all came down with the same shit, muscle menace, and they're all dead. Okay,
sorry about that.
And I caught mine in the nick of time. And I got a call from a nurse, and she wasn't my doctor, all right? And she had overheard, and she called me, and she said, look, I was at a conference, and I talked to the doctor there, and he's like the metal. He's big dog, and I talked to him about you, and he said he knows how to cure you.
He's the head dude in charge.
The head honcho.
He's a grumpy ass old white man, okay? and he ain't got no
racist.
We're not racist.
He's white.
Well, he was whitish. I don't know if he was white, but he sounded Russian. That's all I know.
Oh, there we
Hey, man, let it go.
Hey, who knows, man? Maybe he was. You don't know, Alec. Maybe he was Russian. You don't know.
So anyway, she went and got him to sign orders and said, "Hey, look, this is what you need." And then they said nobody would do it.
I know what'll cure you. Take this every day.
Vodka.
1 bottle a day. Some vodka.
Vodka, that's all you need. And put Vicks on your chest.
And put a couple of drops and spray yourself with Lysol.
Oh, we're getting off the rails here again, guys.
But the bottom line is that I had a guardian angel came in and said, okay, do this, this, and this. And nobody would do it. So I had to spend all my goddamn money.
You had to spend all that money you earned and all
the money that I had, And at the time, like I said, I had a wife once upon a time, and she was cool with it. She was like, whatever it takes. I can't lose you. I can't help it.
Yeah.
But then when I said, well, I'm not going to be drinking and partying no more, and she goes, well, if I ain't fucking hanging with you then. and I said,
no, please tell me that wasn't it.
No. It was, she was a partier, and we grew up as partiers. We were, like I said, rock stars.
I remember that. Yeah.
All right? We were rock stars.
She was.
And so...
so did it really boil down to, hey, if you're not partying, I'm not down with it?
I said, I have to cure myself.
Okay.
I said, you can have, we'll sell everything and we'll split it so that way you're okay. I'm not going to stop caring about you. I'm going to be your friend forever. I said, I will be your friend forever. And I helped her move, and till this day, I still am. But I can only handle it in small doses. So, I'll go if there's a problem and I'll fix it.
Cheers to you. You're a good man for that. There's a lot of men out here that they let their ego get to them, and they're like, I'm a man. I'm not gonna, find your own way, and it shows that you care.
Well, I don't even know what ego is anymore, man. I don't know. I just know that I got a mission to do, and I've got a lot of obstacles that are in front of me. But that's what I was talking about, the Stoicism. Because they help you get over that kind of stuff, and that's a whole different subject for a whole nother time.
Yeah, you are, this definitely is a great man, because growing up, him and my dad and still are really close. But growing up, I used to go to the shops a lot, and back then they used to be, McDonald's, Taco Bell, and Wendy's. I don't know, you remember that?
Oh yeah.
And this man used to take me to those restaurants. He used to take me there when my dad was too busy, and he used to hang out with me, and I used to hang out with him at his shop, and they were right next to, this is a good man right here. That's what I'm saying. He's a family friend for life, because this man really looked out for us, and we try to look out for him as much as we can.
We all clicked, and that's not
I loved going over there just to go see you, because I knew if I went to go see, we were bullshitting all day. And my dad didn't like it, but you distracted me away from him so he can get his job done. So we used to walk across and walk next door to get food, and I used to just hang out and at the shops, both shops, and used to just do whatever. And I knew I would be protected. I knew nothing would ever happen to me.
No, I mean, your dad is like a brother to me. Okay, and And as soon as we met, we clicked.
Yeah.
And because we knew we weren't full of shit.
Yeah.
Your dad's not full of shit.
No,
and I'm not full of shit. And so we could talk, we could say shit, and maybe it wasn't exactly what's going to, just like roses or anything, but we would put it on the table.
Yeah.
And say, hey, look, this is this, this is that. And so it builds respect.
Yeah.
And with respect, you build family. Okay, I have a T-shirt. It says, and it's a Memphis T-shirt. Okay, so it says,
it's cool. Memphis is cool.
Blood makes you related, but the blues makes you family.
There you go.
Ooh,
all right,
I like that.
And so I bought one, and
I have one of those.
There you go.
And I wear it. I wear it, and I have the other one. Okay,
wear it next time.
Okay, I will.
Awesome.
The one that I got just recently, and I had to do it, for trompo. And it says the original Homeland Security, and it's a bunch of Indians. All right.
Oh, dope. Yeah. Dope.
And so, I've always wanted that T-shirt because my grandpa, he was a full-blooded Indian.
Oh, really?
No shit.
And my grandpa.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And so, and my mom and the family said, "No tan así con la nariz así." They're hardcore-looking cats.
Yeah.
But my abuelito, he was calm.
Yeah.
And he was calm.
So that's where you get it from?
Yeah, he was growing weed, man. I don't remember he was growing weed, okay? And
peyote. You want some angel dust? You want some peyote?
Reminds me of that Dave Chappelle stand-up where he's like, and he's like, bro, I met with the Indians. They're really cool, chill people. And then they got these drums, boom, boom, boom. And then they bring out this he's like, this bag. And then they unroll it. And then the chief sits down. They go, boom.
Oh.
And then the chief goes, $5 for the small bag.
I'm sure they paid it in turquoise stones, or hey, you know what to do.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, that's a story right there that about the shield, and that's a story about Reuben and I's You know?
So about what Ruben was saying, and adding on to how we're saying, hey, you present yourself, and I get sense the energy is you're a great person, you're a good person.
Oh, yeah.
You try to be, right? That's all we can try.
Yeah,
we can do
and
is
I
try.
appreciate you. I appreciate you saying that. I don't feel like I'm nobody special,
Right.
but I feel like if I don't make the effort, who's going to do it?
Yeah.
All right.
And to that, with what I'm saying, like Ruben saying that, those are beautiful things because, and I chuckled about it when he said that, because a lot of times I found myself where I talk to people, especially close friends, and I'm like, you know what? I hate people. I hate people.
I know it's what he's
because it's weird because and I was speaking on this with a friend that I work with.
Was it me?
No.
Okay.
I work with now. And when I'm walking there on the campus where I work at, I'll have a bunch of moments where I'm, hey, what's up, Sal? Hey, what's up, bud? And I'm just, in there, man, for somebody who hates people, a lot of people who like and know you. And I'm like, you know what? I came to this realization, and that's why I chuckled. I said, I hate the evil in people. I think what it is I do really care about people, and I just hate the evil in people because it's a choice. We decide if we're going to try to be good people or if we're not going to care. And unfortunately, to what you were saying about looking for somebody within the government or finding the right people where they don't care about money grabbing and really what they want to do is protect, it's going to be hard. It's sad, right? Because it's like, wow, that's the whole purpose. The purpose of the government should be to look out for the people that it governs. And that's sadly not what it is anymore. And so putting that aside, you think, okay, nobody can control anybody, right? The only way you're controlled is if you're allowed to be controlled. And so with me saying that, I'm getting to the part where as individuals, you mentioned a number about how many homes there are, or how many, was it people or homes?
Households.
No, that's households.
Households was how many?
213 million.
So 213 million households. Whoever it is that are the heads of those homes get to decide on teaching the good foundation of treating people well. And one of the things you said, for example, it came with, because, one of the things was road rage, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a choice in that. You get to decide and say, you know what? I want to make it home. You cut me off kind of rudely, but let's just both make it home. Let's not get into this altercation, and I don't know which one of us is going to flip the switch. Rather, you're going to shoot me or I'm going to shoot you, and let's just both get it home, right? So there's a choice in how you react to things to where we can keep things peaceful. Going back to like Ruben said, you don't need the money. And you said, you don't need the money because you're at peace. And that really is where I feel like people should be at, but they're not. Because they're too busy thinking about things that don't really matter.
Yeah, they're in the rat race.
Yeah, they're in that rat race instead of having a healthy mentality. And with healthy mentality, you have a healthy heart.
Mm-hmm.
With a healthy heart, you act according.
You raise your family.
Yeah, exactly.
And it changes the culture.
Yeah.
That's what it does,
That's why, money, I truly believe money is the root of all evil.
They've said it for ages.
Because, it is, in a way, it is the truth. It's like you look at all the people that have, even, athletes, celebrities have millions upon millions, and yet they're the most of them. Some of them are heartless and they just, no, this is my money. But yeah, I got, all the below people, I got to, share your money with everyone else while we keep ours.
Mm-hmm.
Money truly is, believe is the root of all evil. And you you defeat that by saying, I don't really need it. I just want peace. I just want to be peace with myself. And that's it. That's all I want. And you are here trying to help people and trying to save people's lives. And the sad part is that governments or nothing are going to, take longer to try to help you because of that, because they don't care. No. They just want money.
Yeah.
And you are saying, look, I'll donate this stuff for GoFundMe because I want to help teachers, cops, who are scared to save lives, but yet they want money, they want to keep everyone down, and they want profits for all that. And it's like, that's not what you want. You have a vision for that.
I have a vision. I mean, I like to have a little money. Okay, don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah,
I need to recoup
obviously.
what I put my life savings and I put years of fucking time in this thing, but
but you don't want to get carried away with it.
I don't need $142 billion.
Yeah.
I don't need $1 billion. I don't need.
As long as you have enough to pay your bills and be comfortable, you're fine.
In the chinitas.
Oh, there you go. And the Russian strippers.
Yeah.
Russian,
He wants the chinitas.
There you go.
He wants the chinitas.
Hey, Russians are nice
We'll
too,
get
though.
Alec the Russian stripper
And the pink shield.
and the pink shield.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a shield to put in between me and Ruben.
There you go. Hey, who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen?
Whoa, what does that mean?
Exactly.
But to what Ruben was saying too, for example, how it is that celebrities, governments, they get really power hungry, money hungry, right? I'm trying to I try to think carefully with my words, but
Go ahead.
I'll say this much:
When did you?
there's only one true God. There's only one true being that created everything and is everything, that has always existed and does not have an end point. And to that, I would say also this though, within the times of the human race, God is who you choose God to be. Meaning this: to some people, even though they are believers, through their actions, what they show is that their true God is money. They put that at the forefront. What do you want in life? You want money, because money is everything to you. And I think that that's very sad, because if you put your trust in the true, God, the one and only, then you guide yourself by what you learn from him, and nothing that you learn from him is negative. Everything is positive. Now, the God of negativity would be, of course, the being that rebelled against him and decided that he wanted to play that part of God and have people worship him. So money can be God to people, and I think that's the problem, when you let that happen instead of just really guiding yourself by true morals and values, which are what really matter, so that you can be at peace with your mind, be mentally peaceful, and in essence be peaceful within your life.
That's a true thing, okay? And society has that vision because nobody's taught them any different, okay? They don't have somebody to talk to, and that's going to help them clear the head. Now, there's a lot of people that go to church. As soon as they come out, and then, man, esa pinche vieja, te guachate la skirt que tenía, man. Estaba bien cortita, man.
Yeah.
And okay, right out of church. All right.
Right out of church.
And then
Even during church, when they're in church, they're like,
right, man. I got to go. I'm gonna go get her number, man. I'll be back. and there's. Yeah, I'm not a very religious guy, but whenever I was saved. When I say saved, because a lot of people used to use that word a lot. I was saved.
To say it.
Yeah, just to say it. I was saved. Especially guys in prison. Okay, I was saved when I was in prison. As soon as they come out, they throw the Bible in the trash, and they just say, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
But to get to that point, sometimes you have to have a really traumatic deal. Now, there's some people that I've met that are educated and they're smart and they're sweet and they're no vatos. I don't talk to hardly no vatos. If I can't talk to a Ruka, I ain't talking to nobody. Okay? I'm tired of talking to dudes, okay, man? I'm
tired of talking to all y'all.
Where
the girls at?
For you, exactly.
John's
dude.
like, I barely wanted to agree to this.
I can't believe y'all knocked on my window for this. There's no women that got lied to me.
I thought it was that fucking Ruka from last night. She had coffee and shit.
You said there was going to be a casting couch.
What is this?
So just get back what I was talking about. I can't even remember now. But
You were saying how it is that there's people that are, but religious in quotations. They go to church,
They
and you
come
said,
out and they're just
you know,
same
they
way
come out
and
and they're just
nothing
Okay.
changes.
Well,
and-
you know,
How
just
they say that being saved is just
Yeah.
an expression
an
as
expression, yeah.
well, I started off with the part that I was saved. Okay, the part that I was saved, and I was saved by guardian angels. Okay, because I was meant to live, obviously.
Yeah.
And you know what I had done to myself in my previous years, because I was a hard rocking. I mean, it was like we ain't doing no Diddy, but we was but we was partying.
I thought we were gonna get through a whole podcast without Diddy.
Oh, you got to mention that motherfucker right
Hey,
there.
we partied like hell, okay? And I didn't talk to me rucas. I mean, many vatos at all. I was talking to rucas, okay? And so, and I have friends of mine. They go, hey man, you want to go ride with us, man? There's about 5 or 6, 7 of us to go ride, man. We're gonna take our Harleys and let you know. I said, man, I ain't going nowhere with no vatos, nowhere, man.
I'm done with y'all.
Yeah, I said, if I'm going anywhere, I'm gonna go
With a chinita.
to the
With
chinita.
the Russians, the
I want that
chinitas.
love you long time, happy ending, you know?
There you go.
And how are you? You come on, baby. Come on, baby.
There it is.
Get
There.
it, baby? Come on.
You take too long. You take too long.
Oh, we're getting canceled, Sal. There it is. There it is.
I love this guy.
Hey,
You see, I told you.
so anyway, tell me again what I said. Rewind.
Oh, there we
You
go.
were saved.
I was
You're
saved.
talking about you
Okay,
were saved.
I was saved, and when I was saved, okay, and it was a fluke, and I had doctors, and then the doctor said, well, nobody's going to treat you because we don't do that medicine, and so he told his assistant, don't we have somebody in Beaumont to do that? And she goes, yeah, man, we got somebody in Beaumont. Yeah, they can do that. And I said, well, give me the number. And she goes, I had to look it up. All
I
right?
said, well, look it
Isn't
up.
that crazy?
She took off.
Isn't that
She took
crazy?
off, and I left. I called her a couple of days. Did you get the number for the guy in Beaumont? No, I don't have. I'm gonna call you back. For 3 months, I did that. All right, and I would call her about 3 or 4 times a week, sometimes twice a day. Did you get the number? All right, and I'm not gonna say she's kind of and you know maybe
Lesbian.
lazy, heavy.
Oh, hey.
And,
okay.
you know, and like lazy.
Fat.
What was lesbian my first thing,
Thick.
Sal? I
Thick.
don't know.
It's the thing.
All right. Well, she didn't do it, and I show up to the doctor's, and he's like, well, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I'm still trying to get that number, dude." And he looked at her, and he's like, "Sir, I got it right here." And okay, so I got it. I called them, and they said, "Mr. Guzman, yeah, you got it's serious, and the doctor, the hospital does take your insurance, but the doctor don't." Okay, and I'm going, well, how does that work?
The doctor doesn't, but the hospital does?
Yeah,
But that doesn't make any sense.
I come.
the
That's
weirdest
exactly
thing.
what I said.
Well, see, let's go back to like the hospital system is more like a mafia family.
It is.
Yeah.
It's exactly right, but you
Yeah.
didn't. You don't see it exactly like I seen it with my own eyes. You
Yeah.
you have probably with some of the people that you deal.
Well, so I mean, really quick. There's this, a thing that the reason I say it's like a mafia family is my dad's best friend passed away not too long ago.
Yeah.
You know about that.
Yeah.
And
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Thank you. And so his thing was he had, I don't know what stage. I want to say it was it was terminal cancer pretty much.
He was serious.
It was really serious. He was doing pretty much how you were doing. He was experimenting with stuff, natural things, and he has stopped it. He wasn't curing it, but he stopped it from spreading.
Yep.
Right. And their doctors couldn't know why. He was doing all kinds of stuff. He has stopped it from spreading. Well, they didn't like that.
Nope.
They didn't like that. He figured that out.
Yep.
So they told him, and he was going to a clinic and just doing chemo, whatever. He was doing good.
Yeah.
He was. And he was looking very promising. Well, the hospital caught wind of it. I'm not going to say the name of the hospital, but the hospital got wind of it.
Tell me off the air. I'm gonna go hunt him down.
Let's
No,
say
just
gas them up.
You want my shield?
Put 'em on,
You want
yeah.
my shield?
kidding. Hell yeah.
So,
Make sure it has that on it. So it's like, this is who came to you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
so
That's how
hospital.
you'll show up to the YouTube headquarters.
There you go. So, hospital caught wind of it. Well, they didn't like that. They didn't like that he figured out how to stop it, from spreading. And so he goes in for a checkup. Well, he goes into this regular clinic to do what he was going to do and then keep doing what he's doing. Well, they said, well, you can't come back over here anymore.
I remember when that happened.
He's like, well, what do you mean? He's like, no. He goes, you're no longer allowed back over here. They pretty much used him to research on.
Yeah, they said, go over here to Guido, and he's going to take care of you.
And it's scary to know. And that's why I say the hospital system is all that. It's like a mafia family. That the big hospital names that we have here are pretty much the 5 families. Because it's like, and that's why I said, like, if one patient gives a doctor a lot of hell and a lot of grief, they'll contact all the other hospitals and say, don't ever help this guy ever again.
True.
And, they said, oh, no, you can no longer come here. You got to go back over there. You have to go there from now on because they canceled everything you had. They canceled all your insurance stuff, and now you're only able to go back over there. So they're pretty much, canceled all his stuff just so they can use him as a research rat.
Exactly.
And that's what and he only got worse.
Yep, it was his demise.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
I remember it very clearly when your dad told me about it, and he wasn't happy and he was upset.
No, he was. We were all upset.
Yeah.
Him and my dad go way back to where I had the shops. He goes way back to then, and my dad said it's scary. It's scary about how much power hospitals have.
When I did this, and like I said, I had guardian angels. And one guardian angel, when I went to that Beaumont clinic, they said, the hospital takes your insurance, but the doctor don't. And I said, I'm like running out of money already. And they said, but I love helping people, and give me a call in a couple of days. A couple of days later, she called me and she goes, I put an application in, and they accepted me into your network.
I was going to go there with what you just said. I said it's crazy because yes, the hospital's kind of like a mafia, and I was going to say it's crazy because there are people within there though that they actually care, that they actually want to help.
No,
yes. It's not so the same thing with the police, right? Because there's people that think the police being racist and all this is systemical. It's not. It's individuals.
That's right.
And there's individuals that care, and there's individuals within every section, and those are the ones you gotta to an extent, like these forces that are acting right, they gotta be careful with them because there's individuals that care to the extreme where they're like they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm gonna do the right thing regardless of whatever it takes. And if you got a problem with it, we can handle it, but it's not gonna stop.
Yeah, I mean there are good cops out there.
Oh,
There's a lot, and for for example, I remember I was either still in high school or just out of high school, but there was a sheriff, a Middle Eastern sheriff, an Indian sheriff, and he had got murdered over something stupid, right? It was just
you can say retarded. It's fine.
Did you say
it's crazy that you that's crazy that you knew I was gonna say that. That's insane. But he was a good sheriff, he was one of the good ones, and he got murdered over something stupid. But he was a good one because whenever there was a kid, let's say, locked out the house because their parents weren't home yet, he used to stay there at the house with them and either play with them, watch them, just so the parents, when the parents come home, he would just sit there and watch them and protect them and stuff. I mean, he was honestly a good sheriff.
He had a good heart.
Yeah, he had a good heart, out there in Cyprus, and he was murdered, and it's something stupid,
That's not the one where it happens more than once where they somebody pulls somebody up and they're like, get out of the car, put your hands on your wheel, and they don't listen. And next thing they know, they got a gun shooting at them, and that bulletproof vest is not going to stop it. Okay,
no,
that's why.
Well, because the bulletproof vest, all it is a steel plate. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's a steel.
You're gonna find something that's gonna go through a steel plate.
Yeah,
but
it's gonna either bruise the shit out of you, or it'd be such a heavy bullet that it would go into you and break a rib or break something, a vital organ or something like that. And that's exactly what I try to tell these cops. I said, look, with this shield, it don't happen because the bullet does not come out of the shield. Yeah. It stays in the shield.
And I've seen it, and he showed me all. And it was really quick because I got here kind of later than I should have. And you just kind of give me a little rundown, and yeah, I mean it's solid. It's a solid piece.
It's a for real deal. It's a game changer, and that's why I'm worried about the big boys, the corporate world, the corrupt.
Because they'll be the first ones to give it out
That's the tough. That's
to
the
everybody.
Tough part, right?
Yeah, they wouldn't give a shit who they gave it to as long as they sold it.
As long as they sold it.
Okay, and then there we go. It defeated what I was trying to do. And I came up with the GoFundMe part of it because I know that if I tried to sell it to the schools or sell it to the police, bureaucracy would get in the middle of it, and then red tape after red tape, and just everybody would know about it, and then they would go find out where that dude lives, man. And we'll see what we're gonna do with him, and we'll get the shit. You got some high-end police people that are crooks and thugs.
Oh yeah,
okay,
100%.
And I'm not saying they all like that. I'm just saying there are some like that.
Yeah.
They're
just power hungry.
Yeah, and they just sent in somebody that was a real ugly person like that. A cop that was gotten away with a lot, and he's going to prison for it. But that's what I wanted to do, and it's hard. And I told the people, the one that used to take me to go shoot in the ranchos, allá con los locos.
Was it in Juarez?
It was in Juarez.
Juarez with the vatos locos.
These vatos, I don't even talk to them, man. And so, I'd go there to shoot, and then more people would find out, and then they wanted, they'd come by, and that's when I decided. I got warehouses now where I keep one material one material another, one material another, one material another.
But it's crazy because sometimes you have to do that, though.
I do it because I know better. I know how crooked these guys are because, you got to remember, I grew up amongst a bunch of these heavyweight, no good son of guns, and I had to watch out.
Worse than Juarez?
Huh?
Worse than Juarez?
Well, I'd have to say probably worse than Juarez. Yeah,
was that like El Salvador or something?
Man, I tell you what,
those motherfuckers.
God damn it, Sal.
They were like identified by clique names.
I mean, you're literally named after this country you were born in.
Yeah, but those motherfuckers are crazy, bro.
Dude, I can't understand them.
I'm of a different breed from
I got you.
I got you.
No, we're raza, we're Tejanos, and we're not used to that influx of different culture.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some of them about those locals, man. I said, I heard the 8 gunshots in front of my warehouse, and I said, man, I ain't even sticking my head out laying down, man. And then I went over there and I got the shield. I said, ha ha. I said,
what you got now?
Yeah, you speak English or ¿Cómo que digo, güey?
I'm Captain Mexican. What you need?
Se dice capitán, güey.
I'm Capitán Mexico. What you got?
Soy de México, güey. ¿De dónde eres tú? Te voy a la ciudad, güey. En las rodillas, güey.
And then look at you. What's he talking about?
Yeah.
Who is that man?
Then he's like, oye, chico, pero este chico de qué está hablando? Está bien loco.
Yeah. I take some marbles and put it in my mouth.
Oh, here we go again. We're off the rockers again.
We got off again.
We're off the rockers.
But, you had mentioned something about religion and stuff like that, okay? And I know that there's people out there.
Not really. If I can
interrupt,
not religion. Just because I look at this with a certain aspect, and if you disagree with me, let me know. I do think very much so there's a disconnect in understanding religion to teaching, meaning there's a book that every religion follows, right? Which is supposed to be the Bible, right? And so there's baptism, there's Catholics, there's Christianity, there's all this, and then they all follow the Bible, but there's but there's different teachings within that.
Yeah.
But it's what does the book say, and that's where I differentiate things. I'm not saying because the book doesn't specify to Catholicism. The book doesn't specify to baptism.
Right. That's right.
It's just what it specifies to.
Well, my answer to that is that, if you have a question, you can Google it. You can go, hey, Bible, what does the Bible say about this asshole that stole some money from him? Can I kick his ass or what do I do? What do I do?
Leave it alone.
He was a primo también, you know. And so, Bible, answer me, hurry quick, man.
Hurry, because I'm fixing to mess him up.
Right, because,
hurry up.
And you have to pay attention to that because Jesus did speak about turning the other cheek, but P. Diddy misunderstood that. And
there's something wrong with me. I can't do that.
Dude,
I can't.
you know, you can turn the other cheek after you whip his ass. Okay?
There you go. It's like this last minute change. I don't know if I could let that go.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, sometimes things have to be punished, and the Bible will say it. All right. And so when you have a certain question, you don't have to go to the Bible to read it and study it. Go to the Bible. Go, hey, Google, what does the Bible say about this?
What is this, Google? I usually just go to my dad. I say, hey, what do I do here? He's like, you know my dad, hey, eye for an eye, man. You got to do what you got to do. You know my dad a long time. You know how he is. He's just, hey, it is what it is. Which I want to announce this, and I hope my dad sees this because I want him to stop asking me. But this, I'm gonna tell you this now. At some point,
let them boys know.
At some point,
just talking about Super Bowl. Okay, go for it.
So we will have my dad on here one day.
All right.
It won't. I mean, if it's not next month, it will probably be the next. But this is what I want, Sal. This is the knowledge. We're gonna have to extend this when this happens. But I want both of y'all to be on here.
Man, me and your dad, we have a blast when we talk.
So that's I hope my dad watches this, the whole thing, so he can hear this. I plan on having my dad on here one day.
That's cool.
You know,
I don't think he's gonna be that easy to get on here, but I bet if you said, hey, look, John said he'll do it with you.
So no, John. Every time I come home from this, he's always asking me. He's always telling me, well, I guess everyone else can be on but your dad, I guess.
So he told me the other day, he's like, yeah, my dad keeps telling me about being on. And I'm like, well, bring him on, bro. So, like, what is the problem?
But you see, for me, though, like, here's my reason for this, right? So let's say when this blows up the way we want it to be, because it will one day. You know, we'll go on Joe Rogan. We'll have the end game.
It's called determination, dude.
We'll do it. We'll stick to it. We'll get there. My thing is, I want to protect my family.
Yeah.
I want to keep my family private.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to know who they are. I
thought I was family, man, for a minute.
I know. I was like, oh, shit, bro.
You're always my family. I'm going to say this right now. And
you're the unwanted uncle.
No, I'll say this right now.
You're the drunk uncle, remember?
This man right here, everybody, this man, look right there. This man right here has been an uncle, a second father to me throughout my life. I owe, whenever my dad used to take me to his shop in the summer, I would always love to go and spend time with this man because it was never a dull moment. I used to run around the shop. He used to let me do whatever I want. This man is family to me. He's a second uncle to me, everything to me. So that's why I'm saying that you're always going to be my family.
Well, I love you too, brother.
Everything.
Hey, and I take it that way because your family is, we always talk shit, boy, no matter what. Me and his dad, we go back, and I'm considerably older than his dad, but his dad is, he's sharp.
My dad has so much knowledge, and this is
sharp.
one thing. This is one thing. It's hard for me to explain to my dad is, my dad's always as tough. No, you don't got to watch out for me, but in a way, it's like I want to protect my dad.
Yeah.
I don't want, when we blow up, when we get to where now they want us to go everywhere else, and they say, oh, well, I don't want people targeting them. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
You get what I'm saying? It's like I want to try to protect my family as I want to keep them as my family, And that's kind of hard to explain to him because he's been wanting to come on since we were doing that at his house. But it's like I want to try to keep my family, my private life. You know what I mean?
Keep him off the video. Just don't show his face.
Well,
or put a fucking
we could do like the news where like they blur out the face and they're like, yeah, so I saw this man walking on the sidewalk and you're like, that's a woman. What's going on here?
You could always put him a little cholo thing or You can change the look if you wanted to, but your dad has a lot of knowledge, and we talk a lot when we go.
Yeah,
We sit there and talk, and we'll go, man. I didn't know it was so late, man. Shit, sorry, I kept you up so late, man. And because we don't get through, we never get through talking because we always have something that we're going to say, hey, man, it gets this away. It gets, man. How you not let him do that?
But one thing with my dad, though, is like, I'm so blessed to have him as my dad.
Yeah.
We will bump heads, and my dad has his quirks. My dad has his little.
Who doesn't?
He has to throw his jabs in there for everyday life. But at the end of the day, if I, whenever, well, I'm not say if, but whenever I lose my dad, it would be the worst day, the worst thing of my life. Because I'm not gonna have my rock there. I'm not gonna have the guy who I went to for everything for. And I hope he watches it up to this point, but my dad is my everything.
Of course, it's supposed to be that way, and it has been.
He is my everything, And I recently lost my grandpa.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, not too long ago. I lost Sound knows about it.
And I want you guys.
My mom's dad.
my mom's dad.
Okay, I knew about that. Yeah.
I want you guys to know something. Before, sorry to cut you off, but it's pretty impressive to me in moving and pushing that Ruben is on here doing this podcast, because I went through my own bullshit not too long ago. He was very patient with me, and I took longer. But to lose somebody as close as his, like his grandfather, and still be here sitting down doing this podcast, I think shows a lot of strength in him. So,
well, I owe a lot to my dad. My dad was a very, whenever I lost him, I wanted to take more time off, but I knew my grandpa wouldn't want that.
Yeah,
he was a very happy person, and he meant a lot to me, and he pretty much raised me when my dad and my mom were working so much growing up.
Yeah, and
I was like, I look at my nephew now. I was like, we're here for you. We don't want you to go through what my dad went through, what me and my brother went through with being raised by someone else, but I'm so grateful that we were raised by my grandpa and my grandma.
You got another chance to get another vision.
Yeah.
You learn something different from them than you will from your parents. Because parents don't know what the hell they're doing. All right?
It's interesting that you say that.
And then your grandparents have got it down now. All right? Yeah. They're laid back, and they understand, and they're patient.
And it's crazy because I have a story for that really quick is my grandma, we had a boil for Super Bowl. And my grandma came over to my aunt, and I just spent time. I try to go to my grandma's house after work because I'm working close to there, so I try to go there as much as I can. But he kind of my nephews kind of cried, and my dad was like, "Oh, well, what's wrong?" My grandma said, "No, you let him cry like the way you used to tell me let the boys cry." He goes, "No, you let him cry." He goes, "No, I'm not doing that." And it's just crazy to see how much he's changed from being a grandpa to being our dad. It's like he's so much more relaxed. Like he's much more like, and he said it. My grandpa has said it to him too. It's like a love for a grandchild is different from your actual child.
Yeah,
But
I remember he told me that.
Yeah, but I'm so blessed to have my dad in my life. No matter how many times we may not agree, and we may not, he may say something. I'm like, just whatever it is, what it is. But I'm so blessed to have him in my life, and I was blessed to have my grandpa in my life the way I did.
And that's what made you who you are.
Yeah, because both of them, my grandpa wouldn't want me to feel sad, and my grandpa wouldn't want me to cry. He wouldn't want me to do anything. He would want me and me and my brother and everybody to just live life. My grandpa lived his life the way he wanted. He got to see the things he wanted to do, and all the pictures that my mom chose for the funeral, he was smiling in all of them. There was not a sad picture. There wasn't a picture where he wasn't smiling in. and we were everything to him.
Sounds
And
like peace.
yeah, and we were everything. And he was everything to us. You know, I do have regrets about stuff, but about, you know, maybe I should have seen him more. But then it's like, you know, I've told people, it's like we take grandparents for granted. You know what I mean?
He feels it now, though, dude.
Yeah.
So anytime you talk about somebody like that, or you bring it into your head, it's the same, dude. Because los espíritus, se están comunicando.
Yeah.
And
it's
so
like,
it's cool.
it's like, man, because he was, you know, a memory keeps playing in my head, right? Since it's happened, since he's passed, is coming home from school one day, and he had a metal fence in his front yard, and is kicking a soccer ball in the metal fence. And you know, here's the thing, you know, I don't speak Spanish very well. In fact, I probably don't speak it at all. If I do, it's a few words.
What the fuck? You
Shut
don't?
You've known that, Sal. You've known that for a while. So, but I would always remember my grandpa didn't care. He knew it. I mean, he knew that, but he didn't care. But I always remember kicking a soccer ball to the fence and my grandpa coming out and me and him playing soccer together. I'll always remember that to the day, probably till the day I
What
die.
a memory, right?
Yeah.
What a memory.
Is always playing soccer. And, you know, he didn't care what we did as long as we did it to the full potential. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he was everything to us, and he gave us great stories, great memories, but he wouldn't want me to stop what I'm doing.
Nope.
He wouldn't. And I told Sal this. He goes, he wouldn't want me to stop. He would be more disappointed that I stopped
Right.
than keep going.
Yeah.
He didn't want us to feel sorry for him. He didn't want us to do anything. You know, he wanted us to keep doing ecstasy, which is why. And the reality is, I lost him 3 weeks ago.
That's
right.
soon.
It was during the
3-4 weeks
when
ago.
the snowstorm thing happened. We
It was it was like right after this, about 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's still fresh.
Yeah, I remember when your dad was telling me, what was going on bad.
Yeah. So to do that and then come here to do this, I mean, this is what he would have wanted. You know, he would wanted me to keep continuing with my passion. And all of this is a passion of ours.
Heck yeah. You wouldn't be here and having such a
Yeah.
good time if it wasn't a passion, dude.
Our end goal is for this to be our home base, but we want to bring in a lot of people. You know, we want to be able to reach out to everybody. We want to be able to get invited into conventions or the other podcasts and be able to do all that stuff for us, you know. And that's what he would have wanted for us, you know. That's what he would have wanted.
And with that being said, I'll say this much. Definitely great words, and it's great that you're able to express yourself that way about not just your grandfather, but also your father. And so many respects to that, and may he rest in peace. I know those things are very tough. Who hasn't lost a loved one? But it also comes back to, as well, when we were talking with John about
Stoicism.
Stoicism.
Yep. Stoics. It's an old philosophy, and it has to do with virtue and control and I use it
And not control over other people,
no,
but rather control over yourself.
over yourself.
Yep.
On how now to allow outside things that you have no control over.
Mm-hmm.
Get it out of your head. Do your thing, and Marcus Aurelius is one of the philosophers from the Romans time, and he was one of the biggest known because when he was a king, there was a pandemic, and people were dying left and right, and he was the only one in history that pulled all the jewels out for people to have, not buy, but have so they could go buy food. The king put it out there. That's what kind of philosopher he was. He was a king, but he was a philosopher. And if you ever get a chance, that name, Marcus Aurelius, is a big name.
So after the podcast, sorry to cut you off. After the podcast, I'll touch bases with you on that with
The Stoics.
Yeah, the Stoicism, Marcus.
Check it out. So I was, at first I was going Stoic in the hood. All right. I was going Stoic in the hood. We have to teach the youngsters how to understand what's going on. Then I was going, no, how about, what was the other one? It was like nothing to do with shield, but it had to do with wing it. you can talk about anything. Just wing it.
Yeah.
All right. And I was going, okay. So, I kept thinking of things, how to apply to it, because I had no idea what I was getting myself into when I opened the window. And I speak English. And then
Espérame.
Hold on, let me put my underwear on. Hold on.
and you can hear
Let me turn them inside out. Hold on.
you can hear the pole zipping down. Se estaba bajando el carro y todo.
¿Qué es eso? No, es nieve. No, es snow from 3 weeks ago.
Touch you up. Hey, but I could go on and on about that. We will afterwards, but I study it day and then night. And I don't. I have a friend of mine that does high-end stereo system, and he goes, "Hey man, you want to put a system in your car?" I said, "No, I don't listen to music." What do you mean you don't listen to music? I said, "I don't listen to music when I'm driving. I'm praying." I said, "I pray constantly." I said, just to keep me in peace, because some of these people, man.
That's crazy because music is my life.
I love music, don't get me wrong. But
And here and there, he listens to it. He's not saying he doesn't listen to music, folks.
Yeah.
He's just saying when he's driving, he's
when
not
I'm driving.
listening.
Well, that's specifically when it's my life when I'm driving.
And different people, hey, like they say, different folk, different strokes.
Yeah, but I did it that way, and because I'm trying to visualize what I got to do next. We got to visualize, because when I start off a day, I make a plan the week, then I make a plan per day, and I make a plan per hour, and then I put it in my phone, and I look at it, and that way I don't have to think. I go straight to my plan, and I don't think, and it gets done. All right.
I don't ever think so. I just
That's impossible.
You just do.
I just go for it.
No, Nike, calm down.
I just go for
that's
it.
impossible, and I know that's impossible because of the words you just spoke about. With it being about your father and being about your grandfather, you do think.
I do.
And it takes people that care and people with a heart to actually think about things.
I do.
Those that do not have a heart, that don't care, they don't think because they're only concerned about themselves, and that's why.
Do you think so?
I do.
Okay.
It's one of those things where I'm thinking if it's a gift or a curse, but I'll say this much: the reason why the talk about Stoicism came up was because what you were mentioning about your grandfather and your father, and we were talking about it with John before we hopped up on the microphones, is that young people nowadays, they do not want to pay attention to those that came before us, that have the knowledge, that have the experience. And as I was telling John, it's very important for us to do that. I've never been self-centered in that sense where I've thought, I'm going to figure things out on myself because I am my own individual. Yes, you are your own individual, and you have your own ideas. You have your own way of thinking, but
use the inspiration of the past.
Listen to the experience and the words of those before you to help guide you, because there are mistakes that you can avoid along the way that could hurt you. Well, that's why they're called mistakes, right? So that you can do better than those before you. And that's the whole point, right? We're supposed to help. And I say we're because I'm hitting a certain age, and you try to guide those. I listen to my nephew, and he grew up around me. And I listen to my nephew and how he speaks of certain things and how he's doing good in this and he's progressing through this and how he's got these goals, right? And I'm not mad whatsoever.
Yeah.
I'm 100% happy because he's learning from the areas where I failed so that he can be better. And when he has his children, he can teach them and they can do better. It's all progress. The whole thing about life where people say, well, what is life? And people want to question that. Life is progress. That's really what it is. It's not repeating what was done wrong before you and making things better as you progress.
There was a Stoic comment. It says, people always ask, what's the meaning of life? The meaning of life is giving life meaning.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And it's crazy because my brother, when he was in high school, someone asked his teacher that. And that's the exact answer that he gave him was the meaning of life is giving life.
Giving my life meaning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's because a lot of the teachers that I've talked to, because I talk to people all the time, and no matter if they're streetwalkers or whatever, I ask them about Stoic.
Yeah.
All right, and I try to tell everybody that because somebody needs you need help sometimes, and I just saw that the other day. And I read this stuff all the time, dude. And I go through it, and I go through it, and I go through it, and that's kind of like my thing. I like to do the music. I put my headphones on. I'm cooking.
Let them cook.
And I'm doing a little. I catch me a little buzz. It's all right, man. I just don't do it like I used to.
Right.
I'm not in Vegas anymore. Now I'm in Huelas, and so I'm not going to drink as much. But I'll have one here and there.
So the reason I was saying that and about the younger generation paying mind to the older generation is it comes back to what you mentioned. Why I told Ruben, I said, man, I really like and I really love and enjoy your perspective in things, right? And we might disagree on some stuff, but so far it doesn't seem like it's too many things.
So far, I don't think we will.
But
except maybe you don't like Gina as much as I do.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I'm more of the but you mentioned a meter. You mentioned a meter, and I've talked about this in one of our podcasts.
Yeah,
there is a meter between ego and
greed
and humbleness.
I don't remember that, but okay.
And that meter has an
have another drink.
I've been drinking since then. I don't know.
Meter has an in between, and that's where you want to be, because
level.
you want to be leveled, because you don't want to be to an extent where you're so humble that you disrespect God's creation for you.
Yep.
Because he did, even though we are created of dirt, he did put a significance in creating us. But you don't want to be so egotistical to where you become or you think highly of yourself.
Yep.
And higher than
anybody else,
even God. Because believe me, as the scriptures say, if you put yourself on this high pedestal where you think you're higher than him, he will definitely let you know.
Yeah.
That's not the case, buddy. Let me let you know who you are.
Yeah. And that's luckily, at this point in my life, I've reached some of that. Okay. I'm hoping that I've got another 100 years at least, because I got a lot of chinas, man. I got a lot of chinas.
And Russians.
And now Russians.
You've defined.
I'm international.
You've defined the odds so much. You can outlive everybody, And you're the thing is,
how are we looking, Alec? We're looking all right.
We're running about 25 minutes over, so I'll cut this part out, but probably try to wrap it up pretty soon.
Okay, all right. Let's try to go ahead and
all right.
Even though but we'll try to wrap it up. Oh, we gotta try
make
to
your last statement still.
Okay.
All I was
don't
gonna say
rush
is that how you define the odds so much that you are just you stick to it and you find a way. Pretty much is what in the short and the shortness of what I was gonna say is you find a way.
Well, I don't know how it all came about.
Yeah.
But I found out that I was able to get outside the box.
Yeah.
All right. And this is going to make it simple. I never went to school. When I left 8th grade, my parents let me quit, and I left to California. All right. And I was rascaled. And so I didn't get any education.
So can we save that for the next the next time you come down?
Yeah.
Let's save that for the next time you come down. So we'll end it with that. And we'll end it with this, right? So Alec, we're good, right? We can. So before we stop it, I want to say this. This man's a great man, and he's an uncle to me. He's family to me. And within the next episode, the next sit down, or the next 2 sit downs, my father will be here. And then after that, we will have him and my father here. Is that okay, Sal?
Knowledge is something that I'm very keen
and one thing that this man can confirm is my dad has so much knowledge within life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I enjoy talking to him.
So, Sal, are you okay with that?
All I'm gonna say is the guest that was meant to be on here. Thank you for. Actually, you weren't meant to be on here. Thank you for not showing up.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So really quick. I know we're over, but really quick. But yes, maybe some things were meant to happen, and this was supposed to happen.
I think so.
I know. I feel that same way about a lot of things.
So
Just make sure you bring the shield next time.
there you go.
I got him. I got him here. Okay, I've got him here.
The shield with our logo on.
With our ATR, all things right.
So
I'll hook y'all on up so y'all can go ahead and get your. You can do the wrap on it, so it'll be easier for you instead of trying to paint it.
there you go.
Thank you, brother.
I've got a few of them.
So within the next couple podcasts, my father will be on, and after that, we'll have John and my father on, who are brothers, from another mother.
Man, they ain't no telling where that'll go, man.
But that's what we like. Though.
We got some stories.
That's us,
and we catch each other and we go, remember?
That's what we are.
You go, we don't remember.
So we'll end it with that because we are
over
30,
the time. Yeah,
we're over. But unfortunately, I'm sorry, but we are. We can talk to John all day long.
Probably
all day long. And we want to thank everybody for watching, and please blow this one up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Please share, like, subscribe, everything. This man's a good man. He really is. He wants to help people. He wants to save the people. Please help us out. We can do so much. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for John for literally last minute. Literally as me driving up here and calling Sal and saying, hey, the guy we had left, and said no. And to him saying, to Sal saying, hey, well, call your guy, call your dad's friend and see if he can do it. So calling John and saying, hey, can you please do us the favor? It's completely up to you if you can do it. And by God, was this the greatest decision that we've ever made?
Hey,
John,
I don't have no more legañas, right?
By God, was this the best thing that could ever happen to us?
Well, that's the nicest thing I've heard, man. Thank you so much.
It's, like I said, John, you were a family to me. You were my uncle. You used to walk me to Wendy's and all that when I was a kid. And I had no, I knew I was protected no matter what. So thank you for this. And thank you for not only being a friend, but my uncle and all of this. Thank you.
We love it, man. Yeah. We love it. We love life. We love life, dude. And so please, everybody, try to love each other.
Excellent.
So thank you for Sal. So thank you for all of that. Thank you, John. And thank you guys for watching.
Catch y'all on the next sit down. Take it easy, guys.